Motorola just launched new budget phones in 2026, and there's a catch that might be a deal breaker for a lot of people. These phones ship with Android 15, and Motorola isn't promising a single Android version update, not one. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. Here's why that matters more than the specs or the price tag. Motorola recently announced the Moto G17 and Moto G17 Power. On paper, they look like classic Moto budget wins: low price, decent batteries, and just enough features to feel like good value. But dig a little deeper, and the software story is honestly hard to defend. First, the timing. Android 16 has already been out for months, yet both Moto G17 models are launching with Android 15. That alone isn't ideal, but it gets worse. Motorola has made zero commitment to updating these phones to Android 16, or any future Android version at all. The only thing Motorola confirms, and only in certain regions, is security updates. In the UK, the Moto G17 is listed as receiving security patches until February 2028. That's roughly 2 years. In other European markets like Spain, there's no mention of software support at all. Even Motorola's official launch announcement doesn't clearly state what Android version these phones ship with, let alone how long they'll be supported. That silence is the loudest part. Software support isn't just about getting new emojis or a fresh UI. Android updates bring better performance, stronger privacy controls, improved battery management, and compatibility with newer apps. When a phone stops receiving OS updates, it starts aging fast, even if the hardware is still perfectly usable. For budget phone buyers, this matters even more. These are the phones people tend to keep for 3, 4, sometimes 5 years. If you buy a phone in 2026 that might never see Android 16, you're basically starting a race against the clock on day one. What makes this more frustrating is that Motorola clearly knows how important long-term updates are, because it just proved it. Not long ago, Motorola announced the Motorola Signature, its first non-foldable premium phone in years. That device comes with a bold promise: 7 years of Android updates and security patches. That's Pixel and Galaxy S level support. So Motorola absolutely has the infrastructure and capability to do long-term updates when it wants to. But when it comes to budget phones, it's business as usual. And this isn't new behavior. Motorola has a long-standing reputation for slow updates, especially on lower-end devices. Even the Moto G 2026 is only promised 2 years of OS updates and 1 additional year of security patches. That's already behind the curve, and the Moto G17 doesn't even get that promise. Now, compare this to the competition. Samsung has been offering at least 4 major Android updates on budget phones like the Galaxy A15, which launched back in 2023. Newer models like the Galaxy A36 get up to 6 years of software support. Google's Pixel phones and Samsung's flagships now come with 7 years of updates. This completely changes what value for money means. A phone isn't cheap if it becomes outdated in 2 years. Long-term software support stretches the lifespan of the device, saves money over time, and makes the phone feel reliable instead of disposable. To be clear, no one expects a $150 or $200 phone to match flagship support exactly. But zero commitment to Android updates? In 2026? That's a tough sell, especially when competitors are proving it doesn't have to be this way. Personally, this is the kind of thing that would stop me from recommending these phones. Specs can be forgiven at this price. Cameras can be average. Displays don't have to be amazing. But software support is non-negotiable because it affects everything you do on the phone every single day. Motorola's budget hardware might still be decent, but the lack of transparency and commitment around updates feels like a step backward. If Samsung can offer years of updates on budget devices, Motorola should be able to at least meet a basic standard. Until that changes, these phones may look like a good deal, but they come with an expiration date that starts way too soon. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.